students, how are you to all? I, Professor Prashant Bhua, Dr. Subhash Technical Campus, Junagadh. I will today deliver on topic of structural subjected to moving loads, or you can say the ILD influence line diagram, which is the topic of structure analysis 2, civil engineering department. So in lecture 1 we have to discuss about the importance of this moving load analysis is nothing but influence line diagram. What is the advantage of influence line diagram, how it's used to solve the analysis of structure, which are the option to derive, or what are the benefit to easy calculate of moving load as the circumstances of live load occurs in our structures. So today's in a lecture 2 we will deliver about which type of reaction equation, bending moment equation are used as a different type of loading arrangement on beam. So we can go for the to analyze the beam such as simply supported beam, UDL, multiple server load are act on a beam. So start with the simply supported beam, how we calculate or using the equation of reaction for the same. So let's we start first considering a simply supported beam having span AB and unit load act 1 at a point of distance y from the support A. Now you can see this is the simply supported beam having span L A to B, and we should consider unit load 1 at a distance y from the support A. Now this is the first consideration of unit load at any point of y. Now on this beam we have to first calculate or draw the influence line of RA and RB. So what are the equation to draw the different interval throughout the 0 to L span of RA and RB? So we know that if unit load 1 is applied on RA, at that time y should be 0. So unit load move on at section of A, and at that time what should be the reaction is nothing but RA. So on the other hand load should be 0 at B end. So this is the shape of triangle for RA. Same way now unit load move on support B, then what should be the RB is nothing but again 1, and on opposite side what should be the A, it should be the 0. So this is the RA and RB. What should we find out this point of different interval throughout this L, that now we have to solve the equation of RA and RB, how we calculate at different interval point throughout the span. So as I say, let us consider a simply supported beam of span beam AB of span L, considering the unit load at a distance y from A. Now first we draw the influence line for RA. So for RA we will take 1 into L minus y, because remaining portion 1 multiply by right hand side portion. So L minus y, it gives the span of unit load at point C to B, and total span are L, and RB 1 into y divided by L. So at that time when y is 0, what should be the getting the value of RA? Of course it should be 1. At y is equal to L, what should be the RB? RB is 0. You can see again the same figure. When y is 0, it means unit load move at a position of A, at that time RA should be 1. If y is L, so there are the no distance multiply with unit load, and therefore RB is 0. So same occurs for while we calculating RB. At y is 0, what should be the RB? If y is 0, it means the point load shift on a B, then load into distance, distance is 0, at that time RB is at 0. And when y it should be L, it means our unit load shift over the support B, at that time RB is getting 1. So using this equation of RA and RB, we draw the influence line diagram of simply supported beam. What should be the varies? Y. L is constant, unit load is constant. In this equation, what should be the varies? Y. So what should be the range of Y? So Y is nothing the range of 0 to what is the our total span? L. So in between 0 to L, at any point we find out RA and RB using this equation of RA and RB. So please note it down, the equation of RA and RB. We will also call, instead of Y, we should provide also the X. Both are the same. So at RA, for simply supported beam, what should be the equation? 1 into L minus Y divided by L. And what should be the equation of RB? Y by L. You have to neglect the unit value of 1. If here you have to neglect the value of unit load 1, then N minus Y upon L. So these are the equation to finding out influence line of RA and RB for simply supported beam. Now for indeterminates value, the graph is straight line, that will be show that. So now we find out the influence line for shear force at particular section. Now the same beam, the section is given C. On that section point we find out the shear force. So what should be done? We already the shape of RA like this and RB like this. We already done or calculate. After the mixing of RA and RB, the shape should be like that. This is the RA shape and this is the RB shape. You collide both RA and RB and cut at the point of shear force, you get exactly value of influence line diagram at particular section. So we all know that what should be the equation of YB is nothing but Y by L. Instead of Y, what should be the distance of our section? It should be X. So left hand side it should be L minus X. So same way, what is the value of RB is nothing but X by L. 1 you have to neglect. Again over that 1 into L minus L upon X. So this is the nothing the value of RA. So now we only focus about the C point. So C to B is getting the plus value for RA and C to A is getting the negative value of RB, because RA is a positive upper direction and RB is negative, again this unit load. After the summation of R and RB, what should be the value? Is finally get the total load of unit load 1. It means L minus X upon L. Coordinate you have to find out. You also coordinate X by L. So at the end of this shear force, you must be checked that that point should be given total summation is nothing but our unit load 1. It means suppose this point is getting 0.6 in real time example, then of course this point is getting the value of 0.4, and then our cross check should be done. It should be summation of 1, because we have to apply total unit load 1. So at a particular section that should be given in our data, this shape and equation are used to draw the shear force particular at section. Now influence line for shear force. So let us consider again simply supported beam AB of span L. Let us construct the influence line of SF at distance C at distance X from AB. That will be seen in our previous figure. When unit load in portion AC, how we calculate? So when unit load is portion AC, shear force at C is given. What should be given? VC is nothing but inversely proportional of RB. That's why it should be minus Y by L. At C, Y is equal to X. Now we should put the value of Y is equal to X. So at the VC, at the shear force at C, what should be the equation? Minus X by L is nothing but our value of RB. Same way, now we calculate the position of RA. That I will draw the dotted line. This is the shape of RA and this is the shape of RB. In between that, one which cut opposite direction, so it creates nothing but shear force at any section. So you might be draw at anywhere of this span 0 to L. It should be X distance. So here X should be varies. Again L minus X should be varies. unit load is getting fixed, section is fixed. Suppose you have to given section as 3 meter, total span is 8, then what should be the L minus X? 5. So 0 to 3 it getting negative value, it means A to C, and remaining 5 meter is getting positive value in upper side. So always we draw negative value beyond the line and positive value at upper side of this line. That should be our common rotation throughout the influence line analysis. Now when the unit load in CB, how we calculate VC from right hand side. So when the unit load in a portion C, SF at C given by, what should be the equation of RA? So 1 into L minus Y upon L. Here in that Y, what should be the value? It should be X. So again we find out L minus X upon L. So this is the very simple phenomena. Thus the influence line of shear force at C followed by RB for portion AC and follows by RA for portion CB. That you have to note it down. This is the very important line. At any particular simple beam, you have to draw the shear force at particular section like C. Follow RB for portion AC and means unit load left hand side, and follow the reaction I from portion CB, it means right hand side of unit load. So when there is the point load W1 and Y1 is the influence line coordinates under the load, we have to find out that shear force at C W1 into Y1 after applying the any particular load is given. When there is the UDL of length A, VC is intensity of UDL. Now instead of point load, the in beam we have to given UDL. Then what should be done? Then for the UDL case, what should be the intensity of VC? If point load, then we directly multiply by Y1, coordinate of shear force, multiply by point load. If UDL is given, then intensity of UDL multiply by area of UDL under the shape of UDL. So what should be done? If UDL is done, then we should particular getting the area of this shape. So we have to calculate area and multiply by intensity of UDL. So finally we get the intensity at point A. So these are the change while in case of UDL. Now with the same beam, we have to draw the bending moment diagram at C. So you have to remember that in our first lecture I will draw one sample of shear reaction at A, reaction at B, shear force and bending moment. Now in this lecture, this is the explanation how we draw the reaction, shear force and bending moment. Now the same beam should be considered A to B, that X is given the section C, so remaining is L minus X. Already we calculate RA and RB to the corresponding of unit load 1. Now at point C we find out bending moment. So what should be the equation? So equation is given at X by L, L minus X. How it should be calculated, that will be seen. Let us consider the influence line diagram bending moment at C. Considering a section of beam A to B from span L at a distance of X from A. So let's the unit load move across the beam A to B. That we all know that we have to done by moving load. So it should be travel A to B. So when unit load is an AC portion, now we calculate that unit load are in AC portion. It means this setup unit load are moved at a portion AC. So what should be done? When the unit load is a distance from Y from A, so what should be the moment at C? Load into distance. So we know that at the left hand side of section, what should be the reaction? So it should be opposite. I simplified that. This is the unit load, this is the RA, and this is the RB. So when the unit load or section is given on left hand side, what should be the effect? It is the effect of RB. And from unit load right hand side, what should be the effect? Is the effect of RA. So now first case where the unit load move for the portion A to C, it means at the section left hand side. So what should be the role play? Is nothing but RB. So RB into distance. Now what should be the distance? This load into distance create the moment at C. So load is RB, distance is L minus x. So load into distance RB into L minus x, where RB, so RB we know that the equation of RB while point load is nothing but y by L. So put the value of equation of RB. So M at C, moment at C is nothing but y by L, L minus x. While in our case, what should be the y is nothing but our x. So put the value and replace the value of y is equal to x. So moment at C, x by L, L minus x, you can see in this graph. So if we found or getting the value exactly point on C, so put the value of x, suppose total 8 meters span, so x is 3, this one is 5. So put the value of x 3 divided by 8, L minus x, again 8 minus 5. So we found the value of MC at the using of bending moment diagram. So same factor. Now unit load on portion CB, it means it should be at section right hand side. So what should be the effect? It's the effect of RA. So again, what should be the moment create on left hand side? So RA load into this distance. So what should be the distance is nothing but x. So RA into x, and what should be the equation of RA that will be derived in our first slide is nothing but L minus y upon L. So L minus y upon A multiply by x. Now in our case, what should be the y? It should be replace the value of x. So again we find out bending moment at C, x by L, L minus x. You can see that in the both way the equation is same for FC, either it right hand side or it should be left hand side. So please notice down the equation of moment at C, x minus L, L minus x. Now you can get one question arise in your mind. So what about this point? At different interval we also calculate this point. So during the numerical I will give the trick how we calculate the this point of different interval. But the maximum point should be located below the section is given, and that equation should be fixed at all case, x by L, L minus x. How it should be derived, that will be seen in this calculation. So please note it down. Thus the influence line diagram for moment at C is a triangle having maximum coordinates. What should be the maximum coordinates is nothing but that we will already derived, x by L multiply by L minus x under the section is given. When there is a single point load W1 and we already calculate the Y1 is the influence line ordinates under the load. So what should be the intensity is nothing but W1 into Y1. Again, if the load is UDL, or you can say there are the several point load like W1, W2, W3 at Wn, and the corresponding coordinate we already find out Y1, Y2, Y3, Yn. So we have to just summation of Wy into Y1, W2 into Y2, W3 into Y3, Wn into Y. So same way under the UDL, the length A is given. So the intensity of UDL multiply by area of UDL. So how it should be work for the multiply? I try to draw the figure. Suppose these are the different multiple load is given, W1, W2 and W3. So at corresponding we already calculate the coordinates. At W1 this is the Y1, W2 Y3 and W3 Y3. So calculate W1 into Y1 plus W2 into Y3 plus W3 into Y3. Likewise we calculate total intensity of at C when the serval point load is given. In the same case, inset of point load or serval point, the UDL given. So same equation we have to use, but how we calculate intensity of UDL, that should be given in our data, and we found the area of this triangle shape is nothing but the area of ILD under the UDL. So we have to calculate the area under the UDL, it should be created. So this is the all about bending moment at C. So up to this we have to discuss about how to draw reaction at A, how to draw reaction at B, how to draw shear force at particular section is given, and how to draw the diagram of bending moment at C is given. So this all about the one procedure of simply supported beam analysis. Now the same case, these are the maximum shear force at section A. This is if we ask load position given the maximum shear force at, if you ask in example draw the maximum shear force at A, so is nothing but the same case that will be discussed in previous slide, is nothing but the analysis or shear force at C, it means VC. So again left hand side and right hand side the intensity is given, and we will find out load into distance, load into distance. So we will to find out this coordinate L by X into L and X by L. Now load position for the maximum shear force at section A. So for single point we already derived the equation for VC. Let us the single point load magnitude W roll from left to right. Now our W is roll, or it should be move left to right. So W should be moved first left and then it should be moved in right side. So this direction is left to right. Now the maximum negative, already we discussed about maximum shear force. What should be the maximum shear force? L minus X upon L. So now maximum negative shear force will be occur when the load is just left of C. So of course where it should be negative effect, then the unit load move in portion AC, it means left hand side of section, at that time it should be create the negative effect. Then what should be the intensity? Minus W into X by L, because we already calculate the ordinates of X by L and it's already minus. Just put out the intensity of this load. You have to find out minus maximum negative value of shear force at C. So these are the calculating to find out maximum negative shear force at particular beam itself. Now UDL longer than span. Now in a particular beam example, UDL is given, but UDL is longer than span. It means suppose span is suppose L and UDL it should be start at mid span and it should be end by after the span. So the UDL longer than span. Then what should be the done? So the maximum negative shear force will be occur when the span AC, because that is the positive value, it should be loaded, and span CB it should be empty. So what should be the maximum negative value should be done? Then minus W, it means intensity of UDL multiply by area of ILD diagram, that already we have to dot it. Then this is the intensity of minus UDL small WL. What should be the area? 1/2 into X by L is nothing but the area of one triangle. 1/2 into X, this is the X, and intensity should be X by L. So use the equation of triangle 1/2 X into X by L. So finally we find out minus W X2 divided by 2L. So the maximum positive shear force that will should be calculated. So is the upper side of in our case. So what should be the equation of upper side? It should be L minus X upon L. So again intensity of UDL, calculating the 1/2 L minus X into L minus X upon L. So this is the span is L minus X, and what should be the intensity of triangle is nothing but L minus X upon L. So L minus X upon L is the intensity of triangle, multiplied by distance L minus X, and for the triangle property it should be multiplied by 1/2. So finally for the positive shear force we found W L minus X2 divided by 2L. So please note it down the equation of UDL longer than span for maximum negative shear force and for maximum positive shear force. So write down this equation. This equation we have to use from our next lecture to analyze the influence line diagram for given data. Now UDL shorter than span. It means span is L and in between there are the small UDL is given. It means shorter than span. At that time what should be the done? So let UDL of the length A travel from left to side. Now this is denoted at A. and travel from left to right, but our A should be less than our total span L, and that's why the name is shorter than span. So for maximum negative shear force C will occur when the head of the load reach at C. Barabar? Then C point is given, right? So where it should be act? It should be act maximum negative shear force C will occur when the load as head of reach at C. So maximum positive shear force at C will occur when the tail of the load at in C. So there are the two criteria. उसमें क्या होता है? If UDL is given shorter than span, then we denoted as A, and we already calculate the section. Section distance already data में दिया गया होता है. Section C should be placed nearer to the A. So if our UDL should be moved, so our load should be moving. So throughout the span, load should be moving at the entire span 0 to L. So if the negative shear force at C will occur when the head of the load is reached at C, and where it should be create maximum positive, then it should be load should be will occur at tail of the load at C. That more should be understand while we calculating the example is clear. Now third case, load position for maximum at shear force at section. Now different point load is given, serval point like W1, W2, W3, W4. All the loading intensity are different. You can see that for W1 to W2 distance D is given, and in between total resultant load is given at capital W. It is the sum of total W1 plus W2 plus W3 plus W4 is nothing but total W. So well, in case of serval point load, now we calculate maximum negative shear force at C. So to get the maximum negative shear force at C, let first load W1 be at a section C. How it's move? W1 should be act on a C. This is the continue plan. You know that this C is given at X distance. And what should be the load arrangement? If we found the negative shear force at C, so our this serval point move that your first load should be act on a C, then second, then third, and then fourth. This is the figure is explained over there. So to get the maximum negative shear force at C, let us first load W1 be the place of section C, and let another load W2 be the behind of it. So this arrangement done if the load are moved by the distance D to right, so that W2 comes over the C, and that chain should be shear force. So delta VC is W into D by L. So what should be the W? W is the intensity of total load, W1, W2, W3. So W into D, load into distance, divided by L minus W1. W1 is the first part should be act on a C, and L is total span. This equation gives change in shear force at C. So please note it down. If serval point load case is given, this equation is very important, and that why we have to use in our numerical example also. So please note it down this equation. The case is serval point loads and change in shear force, W into D divided by L minus W, where delta VC is nothing but change in shear force. W is sum of all the points that will be seen in described in our first slide. D is distance between load C and the next load. W1 is the load at the point C, and L is total span of beam. Now if delta FC is positive, rolling to the left will be increased in positive shear force. In such a case, rolling must be continued till the delta V becomes. So thus the load position in which gives the negative change in shear force will be the correct position of load to get the maximum positive shear force at C. We know that. I try to simplify in draw the one some example. This is the our span AB. Here the portion C is given. So for the negative shear force, we have to arrangement done your first load should be B on C, then next load, then third load, and this one is 4. So these are the position that should be span AB. It means from section left hand side. So all span under in negative. So in this position also we find out maximum positive shear force for the same arrangement done for the same beam. So at the same place of this load arrangement system, we find out also maximum negative shear force as well as maximum positive shear. How? Because our primary section is same. This is nothing but due to RB and this is nothing but due to RA. So this R4 are under the portion of negative, and that's why it gives the maximum negative value. And same arrangement we can cut the replace, then this force should be moved on right hand side of C, then it will be create maximum shear force. But how? But positive, because this is the effect of RA. So that should be done while the serval point is given. So same arrangement should be done. After the C, left hand side should be W1 when the find out maximum negative. Now we find out maximum positive value. So our W4 should be in the part of W4, and C to B means right hand side of beam. This is the section start arrangement, that last load is on BC, and then next load should be moved in right hand direction of section. This is portion C, this is the portion B, and this is A. Now A to C is empty, means portion of left hand side of section is empty, so there are no chance for negative shear force, only you get maximum positive shear force. Now same maximum positive shear force, let's get the maximum positive shear force at C. Let last load W4 be at the section C. So you please note it down or draw this both arrangement. While we calculate maximum negative shear force, at that time W1 should be placed on C on the same load or load arrangement given. Now we find out maximum positive shear force. Then what should be the place beyond the C is nothing but our last load of W4. So to get the maximum positive shear force at C, let us load W1 be at the section C, and let us another load W3 be at the distance D and head from W4. So if load are moved by the distance D to left, so W3 comes over the C, and change delta FC is given the positive value. And what should be the equation? Delta VC in positive, again W into D. D is the distance between two wheel, W is total sum of W1, W2, W3, L is total span, and W4 is nothing but place on load beyond the section C, first point load. So these are the arrangement to finding out load position for maximum shear force. But which type of maximum positive shear force? Maximum positive shear force. Previous one, that should be find out maximum negative shear force. Same way we find out at particular section for bending moment. So what are the arrangement for single point? We all know that maximum bending moment at C, W into X into L minus X, that already we have to derive. But in case of UDL longer than span, refer to the figure, it can be seen that maximum bending moment at C will be occur when the UD load occupy the whole span. And the equation for the maximum bending moment at C, W into area of ILD, that already we know. And after the putting the value of area of triangle and multiply by intensity of UDL, you found the maximum bending moment at C. Now this case is very important, and while the UDL is shorter than span, and then we found the maximum bending moment. So what should be done? You can see that UDL is given shorter than span, it means up to A it should be UDL given. So A1 and B1, it should be placed over the C. So C is given entire X and LX. You can see that at maximum position of bending moment we found using our nominal equation x by L minus L minus L. We also find out A1 is nothing but change in bending moment below the A1, and next point will be find out the B1. So below the capital A1 we found the name is A1, and below the capital B1 we known as B1. So that much area are effective, because what should be the intensity of maximum shear force occur at particular front? So W multiply by area of our shape. So this is our equation, intensity of W multiplied by area of IRD. So this is the area of IRD, but that IRD the shape is given trapezoidal, and that's why that A1 and B1 are very much important role to found the area of this particular section. So what should be the done? Let the UDL of length A roll from left to right, but A should be less than L, and that's why the name is shorter than spar. So for the maximum bending moment at C, UDL must be so placed over the beam that ordinates AA1, which are the ordinates AA1 and BB1 are equal. Now इसमें क्या होता है, मैक्सिमम बेंडिंग मोमेंट फाइंड करने के लिए हम UDL को ऐसे प्लेस करेंगे बियॉन्ड द सेक्शन that our condition should be satisfied. Which condition? AA1 and BB1 both are same. The height of AA1 and BB1 are same. At that point we found maximum intensity of bending moment. Now you again arise the question in your mind, how it should be maintained that our ordinates AA1 and BB1 are equal. So the maximum area under UDL will be ordinates only if AA1 is equal to BB1. So for AA1 is equal to BB1, the following condition must be satisfied. Which one? So these are the equation. Considering the equation, WL divided by X minus WR divided by L minus X. This is the left hand side intensity of W and right hand side intensity of W. So L is the resultant of load from left hand side of section. So this is the resultant load of right hand portion C. Thus to get the maximum bending moment at section, one of the loads should be placed that the section of the load of considering part WL is equal to the this equation, and it gets the sign of positive. But the considering the part W are the same equation, and it gets the sign for negative. So in considering the positive part, it should be considered, and from the right hand side that which is to consider is a negative part. There more you have to clear while we calculate one solve example, but you have to note it down the equation for serval point load, considering the equation to finding out the maximum bending moment. Now what should be the done? These are the serval point load are there, you can see that. Now we have to place such that our resultant should be Z at a distance of C. That I will be more explain why we calculate the serval point example. But right now you have to just keep it in your mind what should be the equation for serval point and load arrangement, how we get the load arrangement for serval point load. So we studied how to find out the absolute maximum bending moment at a section when a series of point load cross the girder. For the design of beam, the absolute maximum bending moment occurring anywhere in the beam should be found out if the span of beam is very large. So we have many assumed that absolute maximum bending moment occur at the center of beam. So this arrangement should be assumed that. So for that arrangement we found the maximum bending moment. In field or in actual structure it may be inverse also. So we have to check the different trial and section for that arrangement should be done, and finalize we have to find out maximum bending moment while in case of serval point load. Otherwise the UDL and single point load is act, then we have to sure about that at which place or which arrangement it gives the maximum bending moment. Now preposition. So when a series of wheel load of cross girder are given, so simply supported at the end, the maximum bending moment under any given wheel load occur when the center of span is midway between the CG of load. You can more focus this center. When the center of span is midway between the CG of load system and the wheel load under the consideration. This is our first and foremost preposition while we calculate the maximum bending moment. In the figure, the center of span C is midway between the resultant R and the wheel load W3. This arrangement will give the maximum bending moment below the load W3. Now the following point must be kept on mind to reducing the number of trials. Now what should be the preposition? How we decide the preposition? That our number of trials should be not that much higher or time consuming. So these are the points kept in mind. The maximum bending moment always occur under the wheel load and at not anywhere between two wheel loads. Where it should be occur? When our CG of beam should be placed exactly below the wheel load, at that time it should be occur. And the wheel load should be selected that the center of span is midway between the CG of load system and wheel load under the consideration. So absolute maximum bending moment always occur at a section near the center of span. Third one is very important. Absolute maximum bending moment. Where it should be occur? It's always occur at section nearer to the center of span. And fourth one, the absolute maximum bending moment generally occurs under the heavier wheel load which is nearer to the CG. So now number of wheel load is given. So which one is placed entire nearer to the CG? So out of 4 wheel load, those one is maximum. It should be placed entire at the CG, and that arrangement give the maximum value of bending moment. So this all 4 points keep your mind while we calculate the server pole maximum bending moment. I again repeated when we calculate this type of example, numerical example are solved. But right now you have to note it down this 4 point and kept in mind. So we get the reduce the number of trial section. You can see this place of position of W1. You can see W1 should be act on support B. D should be distance at W3, W3, W5. So this is the change in shear force WD, W into D divided by L minus W1. If the value of delta Vc is the positive, place in second load W2 at the B and find the value of this load. What should be the change in shear force? So W into D by L constant minus W2 plus P, where P is the load leaving the girder here. So like this, instead of W, now we placed W2 on beam. So what should be done? This is the point B, W2 is placed and W1 is out of girder. So this is the point. You can see the P point, that load having the girder, load leaving the girder here. So P is cache of W1. So the lead placed between B, which gives the value of delta Vc negative if the critical load. This critical load placed at a B will give the maximum shear force, for example, as a section of RB, you can say reaction at B, because reaction at B is given negative. The same principle applied over there. Now similarly place the last load W4 at A and find the value of delta Vc. The value of delta Vc is of course negative because all 4 load are under the portion of left hand side of section. So this critical load, and it should be placed at A to find the maximum shear force, for example for reaction at Ra. So if W4 at A gives the positive value of delta Vc, try to load W3 and A, find out delta Vc. Likewise, at different load should be pressed at particular A and B and get the trial section. Thus at any of this trial we find out maximum shear will be occur entire the point A to B is nothing but the use of reaction at A and reaction at B. So before we find out maximum shear force or maximum bending moment, we must be draw the influence line diagram for Ra and influence line diagram for Rb. So these are the point should be kept in mind before we start the numerical example on influence line diagram. thank you for listening. So if you have to doubt related this equation, please write your comment in my comment box. We also solve to try your query, and our next lecture should be pure basically focused to analyze or numerical example on influence line. So after the next lecture we will analyze the influence line, start with the simple being or numerical example. Thank you friends.